So you really got into metal because of Zach and Raven. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I like follow some metal bands now, and I will say, not to you other bands that I do photos of, but I'm just saying that these metal bands put on wonderful productions. They don't just get up there and sing. They dress up. They're very theatrical, and so they're a photographer's dream, really. I mean, for me, you know, I used to wake up. I used to be a photographer for a band, and I traveled with them. And that is like almost famous. That's what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to carry my camera and be around musicians. And I thought about this since you talked to me about me meeting with you, is that Zach and Raven have given me my dream back. They have. So I am now, I'm now a photographer for a metal festival. And I'm getting to do what I love. And thanks to them, I mean, kudos to them for recognizing that strength in me and letting me be alongside of their team. And yes, I mean, the metalheads and I mean, Sarah, there's so many of them, you know, we became friends instantly. And to be honest with you, the first one I attended, the metalheads were so nice to me that I was down really low at the stage, getting some great shots for the headliner. And a nice gentleman came up and tapped me on the back and said, "Ma'am, they're about to start a mosh pit and you might get in it." So they're protecting me. They're trying to help me. "Ma'am, stand over here. Can we help you?" That was not what I was expecting. You know, I've been to some UT football games where I was a little more intimidated than going to a metal concert. And so I've learned to appreciate their music. I really have, because they put a lot of heart and soul into their music. Have you ever heard of the movie Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? You probably never would have thought that would have come after that question, right? Do you remember the Land of Misfit Toys? Okay, so I'm from a small town around here, and I've always felt like a misfit toy. Like I never knew. I like purple, and I like to wear big earrings, and I like to wear a lot of jewelry, and I'm from a small town that you don't do that. You know, you don't do that. Why do you always have to wear a hat? Why do you have to, you know? And that was one of the things that I actually had written down, is that I felt a lot like a misfit because of who I am. And I think it's wonderful that they're helping. A lot of artists feel like they're misfits, also creative people. But I'm so glad you know, I didn't get to go to the Misfit Expo because I had the flu. And I was really, really wanting to go to that because I have felt like a misfit for most of my life. Which people look at you and go, "Oh, I can't believe you would feel like that because, you know, you look like you have it all going on." Well, you know, we really don't know what people have going on. That's why I'm so proud that Zach and Raven support me and that we support each other and we encourage each other, because it's like the misfits. It's, I think probably, you know, the metal people feel like misfits because they don't do what everybody else does. Maybe they swing their hair around. So, I mean, is that hurting you? I don't understand why people have to make such a big deal out of it. But I'm so glad that you brought that up, because I believe people, it's very important that they are who they are. This past year when I attended, I had 2 deaths and that I faced. So I showed up. And what I found is those people cared about me. They knew, many of them know because we're Facebook friends, that my best friend and my mother both have passed away. And you talk about people wanting to, like, "Lisa, come here, give me a big old hug." You know, they knew, or they could tell, you know, and they wanted to be supportive of you. And, you know, that really meant something to me. that they would even notice that, you know. And then one guy from one of the bands sent me a private message and said, you know, I used to do photography, and I just want to say, you know, what an incredible eye you have. I mean, your shots, you know, this was at Lexington. He said, were incredible of our band, and they just really do want to support you, and they want to help you thrive. And I think that's very important. I didn't know I was going to cry talking about a metal festival.
Great. I mean, this means a lot to you personally.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
You think about that. I woke up thinking you're coming to my house today, and I thought, because of Zach and Raven's belief in me, I am living the dream right now. I am living what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a photographer. I wanted to be around bands and music and songwriters. And wow, look what's happening today. And I give them all the credit. I mean, for believing in me. I really do.